Alright guys, welcome to the video. Anthony here, Special Analysis. Hope you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend and are enjoying your morning, at least back to work thus far, or if you are like myself and my clients, trading in the market. So, got some numbers coming out, just approaching the opening bell as we speak, but those numbers are going to hit at 10 a.m. I got it done early this morning, as I normally desire to most mornings, simply because I just love getting out of the office, right? Like, isn't that the whole goal? The whole goal, at least for me, when it came to trading, was to really unchain myself from whether it be that 9 to 5 or running a small business or whatever, right? Like, unshackle myself from having to be stuck at the desk, at the office, in the shop, whatever it may be, and have the ability to do things that I truly enjoy with those who I truly love. So those are the things that drive me to want to trade. They drive me to like early morning setups, because it then gets me out of the office, right? I work with my clients till 11. I'm done with content by 12, and I am free to enjoy the rest of the day, whether I'm going to go play golf, or I'm going to read, or I'm going to ride the motorcycle, or I'm going to take a walk, or whatever it's going to be. I don't have to feel stuck. And I always go back to my purpose, right? Your purpose has to be greater than the money. It has to be. Because if all you're focused on is the money's never going to come. But if you have this vision for a life that is more meaningful, right? That serves others, that gives back, that has this great purpose, it becomes, the money seems to come much easier, right? And when it comes to trading, it's not about focusing on the money, it's about focusing on the process. Right? Process leads to profits. If you put profits before your process, you are going to, unfortunately, become part of the high percentage statistic that ends up failing. And I don't want that for you, right? And the reason I don't want that for you is because I believe that you deserve better. Whoever's watching this video right now, I believe wholeheartedly that you deserve better than that. Right? So while I could simply step away when I'm done trading and not serve clients and not create content and not give back to this community of traders, I choose to dedicate my time and effort to that, because I believe other people deserve the freedom that comes with the benefits of trading, right? Process, profits, freedom. Right? That's basically the way I see it, and how you utilize that freedom. Hopefully, it's for good, not for evil, and in doing so, you live a life worth living. And a life worth living, to me, is a meaningful life, and part of that meaningful life is to help other people achieve success through trading in the way I have, whether that be day trading, swing trading, position trading. I believe that knowledge is power, because knowledge drives the process, right? And the process drives the profit. So it always comes back ultimately to that kind of circle of life in this industry. So I'm going to tell you how I traded it this morning. I'm going to walk you through it. I will place a blog post surrounding this video. More than likely it will be below it. If you click on that blog post, it will take you to my website. Inside that blog, where you will actually have an opportunity to watch the video of the trade transpiring in real time. You'll see it get filled. You'll see it actually get filled at a better price than where my limit order was. A lot of people don't understand how that works, so you get an opportunity to kind of see it transpire live. I'll show you what the profit was, kind of walk you through that. You'll see the position sizing. Now listen, most of you are not going to trade the position sizing I do, and that's fine, but just realizing that you scale it into where you're comfortable, and then you scale it up as you become comfortable, right? And that means micro contracts for new traders, right? It means paper trading, proving yourself and your process profitable. Micro contracts, then moving on to full contracts, and then building up to where you see things work for you. Now, I exclusively trade the crude oil market. However, in our live sessions every morning, we look at the NASDAQ, the S&P, crude oil, and gold. Why do we look at multiple sectors? Because sometimes, not every sector creates an opportunity, right? Or at least not a sizable opportunity. I've focused in on one market, and some of my clients do the same, whether that be crude or the S&P or gold or the NASDAQ. They just trade one. Some of my clients trade multiples. Some of my clients trade all. The end of the day, it's ultimately a choice that you get to choose, right? We're all left with this thing that we were given, right? A God-given right of free will. So how you utilize that free will is up to you. Since I have been progressively increasing my sizing, position sizing, I've focused on just one market because I don't want to have multiple exposures. That's just my preference. Yours may be very different, and that's totally okay. So how and why and where did I take this trade this morning? If you look at the upper chart here, you'll notice that this level here right at $73, you'll see that orange line I have drawn there is a little bit thicker than the rest. And the reason for that is every morning in the email, I provide these levels for the S&P 500 because it is the most popular traded market, futures market, and for crude oil because it is the market that I personally trade. So I plot these levels on my chart, right? And I want you to notice we're in a downtrend here, right? Making lower lows, lower highs. We pull back to that key level. And then notice how we got stuck, right? So something that was previously support was consolidated around, pushed away from, came back, and then was proven as resistance. So I got short right here, all right? And I took my profits, or at least I had my profit set to push back into this small consolidative state, all right? And in doing that, I felt pretty confident that should this level, this key level hold, that we would push back here. Now, we may have found support and pushed higher. That wasn't the case. In fact, we pushed through it so aggressively, like I said, I actually had some improvement on the fill of my order, which can happen. Inversely, you can get not such great, right, fills on a stop market order as well. Like, so where you put your stop loss, understand that if the market's moving very quickly through it, that's going to get filled beyond it. So there's benefits that come along, and of course there's always risk. That there's always a payoff side to side. But if you're trading with the overall trend, if the market's going lower, ideally you want to trade lower. If the market's going higher, ideally you want to trade higher. So I run a 4-hour chart here, okay, off to the right, and you could just see, we have a high, a lower high, a lower high. We have a low, a lower low, a lower low. I mean, you tell me. There's a good chance that if I asked a 5-year-old which direction the market's going in, that 5-year-old would likely say, it looks like it's going down, not up. So if the bigger picture is going down, what am I looking to do? I'm looking for a short, right? Unless I can really stack the odds in my favor that an area where the market could push higher, and that does happen, but to keep things safe, ultimately we want to ideally trade with the trend, especially a newer trader trying to build that confidence, trying to establish that continuous profitability, that the net profitability. When I say profitability is an equation that comes together, right, with both losses and gains. That is a smaller losses, larger gains equals net profitability. So when I say you're a profitable trader, it doesn't mean that every trade you take is profitable. It simply means that over an extended period of time, you will have losses, gains, and then should see net profitability if you're employing good risk management, right? The best way to achieve that, at least what I've learned through over the years, especially coaching others to get to that point is to simply trade with the trend, right? Trading with the trend at least takes that equation of am I on the right side of the market, right? Out of that equation. So I stay with the trend, I trade with the trend, and in doing that, it allows me to now take these lower risk. So all I did here, guys, was you had an impulse, right? Bigger picture. You had a correction, something that was previously support, now newly appointed resistance. I got short, right? And I didn't need to, as you advance in your career, you'll find that you don't necessarily need these monster moves because you're now confident in your trade plan. You know where to enter the market. You know how to manage your risk. You get in, right? You take your profit, and then you get out, right? And you'll see that as your trading evolves. The larger your size becomes, right, you'll probably go, all right, I can settle with 30 tick moves for the day rather than trying to get 80 tick moves for the day. And you'll find that 30 tick moves are much easier to find and calculate than 80 tick moves. That's just what it is. With a smaller account, as you build it up, you're going to need those bigger wins to offset those smaller losses. And that's just the progression of getting to be, of getting to where you will become, where you will arrive as a trader as time simply goes on. So that's how it played out, guys, this morning. That's it, right? Like, it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. I was done trading by 9 a.m. Done. Like, I'm logged out of my trading account, 9 o'clock, done for the day, not going to place another trade, not going to fight the market, not going to deal with it. And that takes a certain level of discipline as well, right? And that means if I'm going to sit at my desk and I'm going to watch the market tick, I may be compelled to go back in the market. But I'll go back to the reason why I started trading, and that was to be unshackled from the 9 to 5, from the small business, from the desk, from the terminal, to go out and live my life. Beautiful day outside today. Plan to spend some time outside, right? Maybe I'll sit on the deck. Maybe I'll do a little bit of reading. Maybe I'll walk up to the clubhouse. Maybe I'll hit a bucket of balls. Maybe I'll fire up the motorcycle. Maybe I'll take a ride. I don't know yet. But the leisure of that, the pleasure of that, is I get to decide at my own will. And you can too, should you endeavor down the road of putting the time and the effort in and becoming a disciplined, consistent trader that will eventually seek net profitability. If you want to learn more about how I can help you along that journey, I will place links below this video. Also inside the blog post, if you'd like access to these key levels that I provide to my clients on both the S&P 500 and crude oil, you can purchase them individually if you're just an S&P trader or crude oil trader, whatever you may be. I will put links to that as well so that you have access to these levels. So as you can see, right, clearly these levels are meaningful when the market pushes back up to them, found resistance, and the market ultimately pushed back lower. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it informational or educational, feel free to leave a comment. Also, like and subscribe to the channel to see more. God bless, and I hope you have a beautiful day.